Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing Rob Zombie's Halloween. So, this film has grown on me a lot over the years. I just rewatched it back in early July, and I'll explain what parts of it's grown on me and what parts of it have, decreased for me over the years, from when I first watched it to now. So, Rob Zombie as a director, I enjoy some of his stuff. I think The Devil's Rejects is an absolute. It's Rob Zombie's masterpiece. It's more like it feels very Western kind of film, even though it's a horror film. It really, House of 1,000 Corpses was more of a full blown horror film. I don't really like that one though. I mean, I thought it was good in some parts. You know, Sid Haig was great as Captain Spaulding in both those films. I mean, and the ending of Devil's Rejects, where the Firefly trio, they get shot up. You know. Otis, Spaulding, and Baby, they all get shot up. And that's a great way, that's them getting their comeuppance. Unfortunately, Three from Hell was made, kind of retcons it, and not really, because they still get shot up, but they survive it. But I believe Rob Zombie said that movie is kind of a what if they did survive. Which I'm thankful for, because if you just watch those first two, Corpses and Devil's Rejects, great films together. Of course, like I said, Rejects is better, but back to Halloween. So, I know John Carpenter wanted Rob Zombie to make something really different when he was making this remake. And he does. He does. Let's talk about Michael's actor when he's fully grown. Tyler Mane. What a beast. I believe he's about 7 foot, or 6'10", 6'11", or something. He's definitely the most physically imposing Michael Myers of all of them. And there's just something more grungy about him, which I'll get into, when we get to, the adult Michael stuff. But the movie gives Michael a backstory, sure, which I don't know how I feel about it. I think I respect Rob Zombie, though, for making the big risk, and making Michael have a troubled childhood compared to, just being this, motiveless killer that just snapped one night. So, so we see that, I believe, the family father's dead, or either he left or he's passed, because their mother, who's played by Sherry Moon, or Sherry Zombie, is dating this man. I don't know his name. I think it's not Rick. It's something. But he's a real piece of work. Let's just say that. And I know, a lot of people criticize this film for the hellbilly dialogue from him, which I can kind of see. We also see more of Judith in this one. As you know, in the original, she was killed in the first 4 minutes. When great shot though. When Michael's first person POV, and I've heard her actress in the original was a sweetheart. Great person from what I've seen in interviews from the Lost River Drive-In. But I haven't heard. I think the actress who does her in the remake does a pretty good job. And the way they explain the mask in this one, so we see Michael kind of snaps whenever Judith won't take him trick-or-treating. He actually kills his first person whenever he's been called to the principal. They found rats, and he told the principal to screw off. And it's Loomis. We meet Loomis, who's played by Malcolm McDowell, who was actually previously on this channel back in April when we reviewed The Clockwork Orange. I might have even brought this film up that he played him in this film. But I like him. He's not as good as Donald Pleasance. Nobody will ever be in that role. But he does a serviceable, really good job, honestly. He's a lot more money hungry, though, as we see in Halloween 2. But I think in the different cuts, he's a little better. But when it comes to being a better person. And so basically, after Michael kills this bully of his, he goes home and his sister won't take him trick-or-treating, so he snaps at night. And Ronnie, it was Ronnie, that's the guy. Ronnie was the abusive boyfriend of Michael's mom. And so Ronnie is drunk, he's taped to the chair, and gets his throat slit while he's taped there. And it's a very haunting image of Michael, just looking at him from below, above. Just, I do like that scene, that shot. And then Judith's boyfriend's beat with a baseball bat, and he puts on the mask because it's explained that Judith's boyfriend was, I think it's Steve. I don't know. It's not Steve. It's something. He was trying to have sex with her with the mask on, so Michael takes it, puts it on, then goes after Judith, stabs her a bunch. This film's a lot more gory than a lot of the other Halloween films. And then we get to our, main plot. Michael's grown up now. We also have Danny Trejo in this, and he's actually a good person to Michael, but, like Rob Zombie said, unfortunately, Michael doesn't care to kill anybody, so he kills Danny Trejo in this, I believe, in both cuts, and escapes. And his design is a lot more like grungy. He has not the clean blue coveralls. He wears these like dirty ones, and like the mask is more rugged because it's been under the floorboards of the house for 17 years or 16 years. And I do enjoy his design. And another great thing about this film is Danielle Harris is back. Rob Zombie cast her as Annie, which is great to see her again because last film we saw her was Halloween 5, where she wasn't brought back for Halloween 6. I enjoy Halloween 6, but that was a very, dumb thing. And I think that Scout, she plays, I cannot remember her first name. But Scout's her last name. She plays a good Laurie. She plays a lot more traumatized Laurie in Halloween 2. Obviously, she's not Jamie Lee Curtis, so I'm not going to try to say that she does as good as her. But I think she's pretty good. And then, well, the worst part of this film is when it tries to recreate the original in the last half. So, it's a lot of the story beats from the original happen. Also, forgot to mention, our first time seeing on this channel, my second or third favorite horror character, Chucky. Of course, Chucky's not in the movie, but his voice actor, the great Brad Dourif, who, besides Robert Englund, is probably my favorite horror movie actor. He's a voice actor, but he also acted too as, Charles Lee Ray in the movie, in the original. But, so that'll be a good tie-in. Maybe my next franchise I might cover. I'm deciding between that and the X movies. If you guys want to comment which ones you prefer. But, so Brad Dourif plays the Sheriff Brackett. And this time, Annie survived her stabbing. So we'll get Danielle Harris back in Halloween 2, which is a sequel to this one. Now, this movie really slumps whenever it tries to recreate the original a lot. Like I said in the last, 15 minutes. There's Bob, I believe he's killed. And we also get a lot more gratuitous nudity, which, complaining about, nah. But Linda's killed, strangled by the phone. You see her breasts a lot more in the open compared to what you did in the John Carpenter version. And in this one, it ends with Laurie stabbing Michael in the pool, or shooting him. Can't remember. And then they just, so it ends. So overall, to me, also Loomis doesn't really do as much. He actually gets his eyes pressed in, I believe, before Laurie escapes and gets tackled, goes into the pool. I think she shoots Michael. But overall, this is a really good human Michael. I think that it shows his abuse led to his. He's more of a sociopath. He was made into the killer. He wasn't born the killer. And that's the difference between psychopath and sociopath, I believe. But overall, Tyler Mane is the best part of this film. What a badass. Great physicality. But overall, the remake is not... It's not bad. Rob Zombie's Halloween isn't. It's not as bad as people said it is, but on hindsight, I think it does some great things right with trying to make it differentiate itself, giving Michael a bad childhood backstory. And I think the actors and actresses do pretty good in it. But it just tries too hard to be the John Carpenter original towards the end of the film. If Rob Zombie would have went a whole different direction, I would be loving this film. But I just kind of like it. I don't dislike it. That's only for Resurrection. But I don't really like it either. So, it's just a meh kind of film. Now, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. A lot of people hate that one, but I personally actually really enjoyed that one. And I'll tell you guys why in the next episode. Well, until then, I love you guys. Take care. Christ loves you. Stay blessed. See you in the next one.